Hi, I'm Richard from Daily Swap Behind Tractors. We're going to do a video for our by far most popular selling tractor, the BCS 853. In most cases, electric start. So that's what we got right here. So for my customers that are receiving equipment via shipping, which is what the vast majority of our customers get, this gives you an idea of what you have to do when you receive your tractor. Alright, so firstly, you're going to get it on a pallet. It's going to be in a box, tractor box, which, Cass, can you show that box right there? So it's going to be on a pallet in a box like so. Cut the box open completely, get all the packing stuff out of it and everything, and then sometimes we have miscellaneous parts in there. The blue plastic cover would be in there. So pull it out of the way, which something such as this. Get everything out of the way, cut the box open, and then you can be able to roll your tractor. I'm going to go back over to the tractor out of the box. So you could, you got this? Okay. So the tractor will be in the box like so. Once you've already unpacked it, as I mentioned. Your handlebar's going to be down like this in order to get better, well actually you got decent leverage the way it comes in, but to get the handlebars locked into one of the 7 vertical positions, grab your handlebar on one side or the other. This control right here puts it down, you can move your handlebars up and down. So once you have it locked in a position like that, in the transmission, here's your transmission rod, okay? Once it is in N or neutral over here, you can easily roll the machine. Well, that is also assuming we sometimes have our brakes pulled all the way in like this with a rubber band on them, so go ahead and cut the rubber bands or take them off, whatever, if you want to recycle them or something. And you let the brakes be loose so you can roll the machine. So once that's all done, we can just grab it and roll the machine wherever we want. You can do it one of 2 ways. That's one way, without reversing the handlebars around. You don't have as good of leverage, or to get better leverage to move it out of the box with your control rods kind of hanging out down here over top of the battery if you get electric start, or in the case of a non-electric start, there won't be a battery, it'll just be a blue cover there. But anyway, the point is that they're not in the control rod holders. Then you can rotate your handlebars all the way around. If you try and do it with these in the control rod holders, you're going to break something, okay? So you then grab this lever down here, hold it down, and I'm going to spin this all the way around like so. Put your control rods back into your holders up here. That way they don't fall off when something gets broken. All right, I'm just going to do one for the time being, but and then go ahead and roll your machine wherever you want to take it. All right, so that's gotten the tractor out of the box. Okay, so I'm going to bring everything back around. And we'll start going there with some controls. I'm going to try and do this quickly. I tend to be long-winded, and I know folks don't have massive amounts of time to watch these videos. So, a very important thing, read your owner's manuals. Read them. I know folks don't like to read owner's manuals. Read them anyway. It's for the best. And then also in emails that I send you, my customers, with high-level maintenance information, fluids and this and that, read those. And very especially important is watching the video on proper clutch adjustment. I'm not getting into that on this video, but that's important, and we have a video on it, and it will be in the email that we send to our customers. Well, we can ignore that, Cass. All right, so let's firstly look at some of the things on the engine right quick, just so you know. On the engine, the machine's going to come with the fuel shut off. This is our fuel shut off lever right here. Okay, pointing straight out to me is off. And then that's fuel on. There's a little arrow indicating such. Since we're down here looking at that, here's our choke lever. Gray lever pointing toward me, and the arrow indicates that, is choke on. This is choke off. You're going to have to choke it when you start the engine for the first time on a given day, generally. Over here, on the electric start machine, you've got your key is off position, on, and then we've got start position. So just start it, just turn the key to the right, hold it down until it fires, and then it will automatically go back to the on position. There is nothing on this machine that's powered by the battery other than the starter, so you can leave it all the time in the on position. It's not going to run down the battery, so no worries there. Anyway, turning key back to the off. Comes with 2 keys. Something else to note on this machine, since we're looking at it, debris screen. This particular machine has a debris screen. We supply those for folks that want them in the case of mowing applications. So as you're mowing, cut material will gather on here once it's half full. Reach your hand down here and wipe all the debris off, the crud off, and then keep going. And then continue doing that at some interval as you're mowing. For those of you who don't have any mowers, you probably don't have a debris screen, so you can just ignore that. I'll show you where the oil check and fill is right quick on this. Yeah, excuse our mess in the background here. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. All right, oil drain, you got one on the other side too. This is a little more open. We tend to always use this side when draining oil out of the engine or filling. So here's your drain. Here's your fill. What you want to do with the transmission and engine level, not angle down like this or back like this. It doesn't mean have an implement on there and let it be angled. It means level. You want engine oil to be maximum full. Maximum full is with this cap off. The oil is all the way out as far as it can possibly go without dripping on the ground, or it's slowly dripping on the ground. Okay, then cap it off. There's no dipstick. We cut those off. Since we're talking about fluids, someone watching Zoe. Someone watching Zoe. Hold Zoe, please. All right, so the other fluid we've got is going to be our tranny. So we've got a dipstick right down here behind the battery. Also with the machine level, you want to check it before you run the machine. Same thing with your engine oil. There's 2 notches on here. Wipe it off, put it back in. As long as you're within these notches, you're good. Okay. I'm just doing this to get rid of the oil on the O-ring. It helps facilitate the ease of removing the dipstick, and this new tractor is about to ship out. Okay, so that's pretty much the basics on the engine. Of course, you get an engine manual coming with your tractor. So read that. I give information about the oil and oil change intervals and such in my email. Honda also, of course, tells you about that as well. I need to get a napkin or a big towel. All right, so let's look at controls here. Right now, the tractor's set up in the front mount or mowing position. Okay. We're going to work our way around like so. Okay, so what we got here, this is our operative presence control or safety lever. When it's in this position, the machine will not start because there's no spark to the gas engine. Okay, to start it or to continue to run it, do any work, this has to come down first. You can see this. Okay. Then you bring your clutch lever in. If you want to, let's say you had your handlebars on the other side and you have a tiller or rotary plier or something hooked up, and you can't stand here and hold it down and reach all the way around here and turn the key. In front mount position, sure you can, but you've got this little clip right here to lock it in place. Okay, so if your handlebars are over on the other side, which in the majority of cases they will be at some point, then you can walk around here and turn the key, start the machine. Okay, of course this machine also has, the electric start does come with recoil start backup, just in case you want to pull start it, but why do that if you have a key? But, alright, so if something's going wrong with the machine, you're running it, by the way, you can just let go of it, and the spark will be cut off, the engine will slowly creep to a stop in a second or two. Okay, so especially when you're new to the machine, if something's gone wrong, just let go of it and get out of the way, and then let it shut itself off. We got steering brakes right here on this side, and we got steering brake right here. Okay, so the steering brakes, depending how we have them set up for customers with a mower, we're going to set it up so that left turns left in mowing position or front mount position, and right turns right, meaning you pull the right brake lever, it's going to turn right. So stock, the BCS machine comes the opposite way. It works that way in soil working. So when you have a tiller mounted and your handlebars over there, stock, you pull right and it turns right. Okay, so it's really easy to flip-flop them, which is what we do for customers that have mowers. So if your machine comes and it's set up in this position to where right turns right and left turns left, once you rotate your handlebars around and you're on the other side, it's going to be the opposite. Of course, you're over there. Okay. So then left would turn right and right would turn left. Okay, so steering brakes. Speaking of those, since we're on the topic, almost all of our cables all around here have adjusting bolts. Okay, you've got a 13mm lock nut that you can back out, and then you've got this adjusting bolt. To loosen the cable, create slack, you bring the lock nut out, and then you just screw your adjusting bolt in. Okay, to remove slack or to tighten your cable, take your adjusting bolt out. So spin it back out this way, and that's going to tighten up your cable. Which, by the way, since I'm talking about cables are generally the tightest in this position. When I take my handlebars around over here, the cables are actually going to tend to be a little looser in this position. And so then when I come back around here, back to front mount, they'll be a little bit tighter. So if you set them up optimally for this position, it's not necessarily going to work for front mount, and especially so on the clutch cable, which needs to be adjusted depending on what implement and operation you're running. So if you set and adjust your clutch cable for this position, and you're going to then stop running a solar implement and run a flail mower or something, or any kind of mower, you absolutely have to check the clutch cable, because if you don't have the right slack in there, it'll burn up the clutch. And it's fairly expensive at $300. Okay, so steering brakes, cables, working our way around here. I kind of showed this at the beginning. Handlebar height adjustment right here, so I can hold on to one of my handlebar lever, the handlebar here, and then adjust my vertical positions. Never mind a little bit of rain shower there. All right, so that's up and down movement. You can do that on the fly. You don't have to hold down your clutch or anything to adjust that. You can do it at any time, engine running, not running, whatever. Moving on around, we've got a differential control right here. This is the unlock position. 99% of the time, leave it in that position so you can turn nice and easy. If you are getting stuck in soil or mowing and the ground's rutted out or something and you need two-wheel drive, pull this back. It goes a lot together, and once you get out of the situation, go ahead and unlock it, and then you can turn nice and easy again. Steering brakes are not effective at all when the differential is locked. The engine will overpower the steering brakes, and they'll be of no use unless you have your differential in this position. Okay, and this lever looks the same regardless of or operates the same regardless of what side your handlebars are on. Moving around here, we got forward and reverse. In front mount position, this is going to be reverse, and this is going to be forward. This is on our 853 tractor that we're looking at here. Okay. So when you rotate your handlebars around, if I left this lever here, this would become reverse, and then this would be forward. That's for soil working, okay? So we're over here. So right now, once I do this, forward, reverse, okay? Okay, so, rain, it's right there. Throttle, okay? Throttle control lever. This is idle position here. There's full throttle there, high RPM. Anywhere in between, of course, would be between low, idle, and high RPM. There's a screw right here if you ever need to adjust this. If it's too tight, or you can snug it down a little bit. If it's too loose, what will happen is this thing will just come back like this, and you can, to fix that, you will just tighten this down a little bit. So throttle, pretty straightforward. That's going to control your engine speed, not necessarily your ground speed, except to the extent that it changes your speed within your gearing. So if you're in first speed, yeah, you're going to go a little slower at idle than you would at full throttle within that gear. And the same for second gear and third gear. So basically it does slow down the PTO as well. So change the RPMs of the engine and thus the PTO. And so really everything, but of course I guess my point I was trying to get at was to go faster, you can shift gears from 1, 2, or 3, okay? Okay, so you see me do this a few times. So to offset your handlebars or rotate them around, this is a lever. Pull it in and hold it. Let go of it, and the pin drops down there and it locks into place. You got offset positions left and right on both sides for front mount like this, or rear mount. Okay, and then moving back around here, we've got our steering brake, our other steering brake. Okay, same as on the other side, except it controls the opposite wheel, the other ones. Now let's look at our transmission control and PTO control. Okay, here's our PTO control rod to engage and disengage PTO. It moves either forward or backward. To engage the PTO, you move this lever toward the engine, regardless of what side the handlebars are on, or you move it away from the engine to disengage the PTO. You will need to utilize clutch to engage your PTO. And speaking of that, it's not uncommon to have to use clutch and slip it or ease it out just slightly while trying to get the PTO in. In this case, I would be pulling it toward the engine. But I would be easing my clutch out. If you can see, I'll do it this way. I don't normally do that this with my right hand on the clutch when I'm running a tractor. But so if I'm easing the clutch out, I will go ahead and just gently or moderately pulling this toward the engine to get the PTO to engage. And as soon as I feel it move and go in, I just pull my clutch back up. Okay. Transmission here. There is this kind of zigzag pattern down there. You've got 3 neutrals. You've got working speeds 1, 2, and 3, and then you've got transport speed, which is speed 4. That's only meant for driving really fast with a seat, sulky, or the ride-on carts. You cannot do any work in a transport speed. It's way too fast. And it only operates from rear mount position. To have it operate from front mount, then you need to make 50 feet. All right, a little quick break due to loud rain noise in the shop. All right, what I was mentioning, the controls that require usage of clutch, okay, would be engage, disengage PTO, change ground speeds, 1, 2, 3, or 4, forward and reverse. For all those, you must utilize the clutch, okay? Pull the clutch in before you perform any of those operations. I can't remember if I mentioned it earlier. When you go to shift in the first gear, you're going to have to slip the clutch half the time. Ease the clutch out slowly while pushing it in the first gear. It's completely normal. There's tight tolerances with the gears, and having to do that and or roll the tractor is completely normal. It'll get a little easier as transition wears in, but that's just a normal function. First gear and engage with the PTO half the time. You're going to have to slip the clutch, ease it out to make that happen. One other thing I failed to mention, when the tractor first gets out of the box, as far as the 2 main things you have to do would be, number 1, turn the fuel on, which I mentioned that. Then number 2, if it's electric start, you also have to reconnect this cable. The black cable coming up here to your battery going to the negative terminal. We'll disconnect that when we ship it. So you do need to reconnect it. But beyond that, everything is, we set everything up, and we spend a good amount of time setting it up, and then I personally test drive all tractors before they leave. So rest assured, the tractor is going to be operating optimally up to my standards, and I use them all the time. So I have ways I like them to feel, which could differ from other people, but preferences. But anyway, point being, they'll be set up and ready to go. All right, let's see, what did we mention here? Oh, hour meter, you got an hour meter on here. There's a cable up underneath the cover, okay? So when you pull this up, don't pull it up way up high. You gotta see this cable here, right? When you go to put this cover back on, just feed the cable down in here between the air filter itself, hold it there in place, and then this little air intake. Put it back on. Yep, you can kind of tell if it pinches the cable up in there, but just if you keep it down in that little slot there, it'll go on there just nice and easy. Let's see, what else? Blue plastic cover. You can go over that right quick and just show you how to put it on. My personal preference is don't use them. But I like people to decide for themselves in life on everything what to do. Not let me decide for you, but I'll give you my opinion. Okay, so here's our blue piece of plastic. Maybe, Cash, should I turn the tractor around? You can see it better or what? Alright. Yeah. So this is the cast. Let's go ahead and move it. Alright, so blue plastic, it looks super cool and everything. I never run it on any of my tractors because it just looks pretty. It has no functional purpose, in my opinion. It also gets in the way and can cause problems. That being said, if you like it and like the way that it looks, then by all means run it on there. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Okay, let me show you how to put it on there so you don't have any problems with that. Firstly, these little pieces here have to be lubricated. Okay, and we do that before we ship it out. That's why I'm doing this. If you don't lubricate them, then I'll show you here on the video, on the tractor. These little rubber grommets are what these little pieces fit into. Okay, and if they're completely dry, no lubrication, it'll just pop this rubber piece out right onto the ground. Okay, So if you are going to install them, what I'll do is I'll line these two up, kind of set them right on the holes and the top one, and then I'm going to come around here. Hopefully you can see this. Kind of lining it up. Oh, first thing, get all your cables out of the way. Make sure that they are not here. They need to be over here to the side. You can push them up this way, move them around. Line this thing up. Get it on there. Get the top one lined up on there. And then just press gently. A little bit of kind of side, back and forth wiggling for these bottom ones. And then there we go. It's on there. All right, it looks really, really good and everything. Let me get it back off of here to take it off. A little bit of like wiggle side to side, somewhat gently. If these things have been on there for quite a while, you just pull it up, or if you pull from here, you could break the plastic, okay? So just do it gently. All right, plastic's off of here. Now here's a couple of reasons why I don't like it, just real quick. Cables, it's possible for the cables to get caught up, and when we have the handlebars on the other side, they have more length to where they can get right into this position. So if you ever put this on and capture or trap the cables right here, and then rotate your handlebars back around, you're going to cut your cables, or rip them up, bend them, so it messes up your cables. Additionally, I like to, when I rotate my handlebars, just be able to see all these cables, so I can move them this way or that. Every now and again, a cable might position itself not appropriately. You might have to move it just to have something working properly. But then lastly, and I don't know if it's most importantly, but this is just a very annoying thing. So when this is on here, and I stand behind the tractor, I mean, I don't know if someone's taller, if they have the same effect. I'm 5'8", but I cannot see my shift plate down here. So I have to actually move my body off to the side, which I don't like. When using the walk behind, I try and minimize as much of the physical nature of this. I mean, I like running the machinery, but anyway, I try and eliminate wear and tear on the body. That's not that big of a deal, but if you do it enough times, you keep tilting your body just to see, I don't like it. So it annoys me. I don't use this. Use it if you want. Nothing wrong with it. Alright, and I think that's just about it here. We've got to try to turn around and reposition. So, something else to point out. So here's our PTO connection point. Every tractor on BCS that's professional series comes with the quick hitch included. And something to note, keep your 19mm nuts that hold your quick hitch on here very tight. The washers are lock washers. They're dome shaped, so the dome or the curve needs to face out so it can operate as a lock washer. So at some interval, 6, 8 weeks, whatever, recheck them for tightness so you don't have a broken stud. And you'll want to clean your quick hitches out over time and re-lubricate them at some interval that you can kind of, depends on usage really. I'm going to do a video soon on quick hitches, so I'll get into that in that video. I think that's about it, and it's raining again here in our metal shop building and getting loud, so we're gonna call this a day for this video. So anyway, we appreciate your business. Thankful to have you as a customer, and God bless and happy growing.